Hey everyone, here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. Students at Lewiston High School are painting all over the walls, and it's encouraged. We'll explain.
And we're live in Atlanta ahead of Super Bowl 53, looking for Maine fans and putting them to the test.
And my allergen-friendly tour across the state of Maine continues. Next up is Trips Cafe in Auburn. This is News Center Now.
Just over 49 hours away from kickoff to Super Bowl 53 for those of you scoring at home. Can you feel the excitement, everybody? I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. I certainly can. Lots of people wearing Pats gear today, and the big game is just around the corner. Let's catch up with our South for 6 crew, see what they're up to today. Hey, Jess. Hey, Chris.
It's Friday, fun day, Lee and Lindsay. This is the Super Bowl experience. Let me just give you a shot out of it. It is packed. It's been open since 10 o'clock today. All kinds of fans filtering in and out, and we've been here since Tuesday. So yeah, there's some Patriots fans. Go Pats! We've been here since Tuesday, so we had to try out some of the stuff. We had a lot of fun today. You'll see that coming up later on News Center Maine at 6 o'clock. But of course, we ran into some Mainers here. Actually, just an hour ago, we talked to 2 guys who were down for their first Super Bowl, and they're here from Winthrop.
And Clay Gordon has been walking around the Super Bowl experience today, not only looking for Maine fans, but Patriots fans, and putting them to the test. Can they pronounce the name of one of the Pine Tree State's biggest cities?
So we've been looking for Mainers here at Atlanta, but how many people from Atlanta know where Maine is? Will you show me where Maine is on this map?
Easy. Right there.
Nice. Nicely done. Ohio?
Oh, my bad.
Ohio! How do you pronounce the city?
Bangor.
Bangor? Bangor.
Bangor?
Bangor. Bangor. Bangor.
Bangor. Bangor. Bangor.
Pronounce the name of the city.
Bangor. 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 Bangor.
Bangor. Bangor. Bangor. Gentlemen, can I interrupt? How do you pronounce the city? Bangor.
Over here somewhere.
Where was that?
Up here.
That's New Jersey.
I don't have my glasses.
Maine?
Bangor. Bangor.
That's Vermont and New Hampshire. There. There you go. And I can't really believe it, but even some New England Patriots fans don't know where Maine is. In Atlanta, Clay Gordon, News Center, Maine. Oh no.
I'm actually kind of surprised at the amount of people who pronounce Bangor right, because a lot of the times we just hear banger all the time. So
When I used to work in Texas, people were like, oh, you're going to work in Maine. Oh, is that near Washington, D.C.? And I'm like, kinda.
close, I guess. All right, coming up later on at News Center Now, some Super Bowl science, which is really cool. Keith Carson puts his foot to the test. We're going to see that.
And coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30, we talk to one man from Maine who has a very big hand in how Super Bowl 53 will be played out, and has a lot to do with the playing surface at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Guys, real quick, before we let you go, we've heard that there's a ton of Patriot fans, way more than Ram fans. Are you seeing the same thing? They're talking about this being a home game, basically, for the Patriots.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah, when we walked in, I was actually counting the number of Rams jerseys, and I saw 5. And we just panned over. I mean, you can see a lot of Falcons jerseys, obviously, because we're in Atlanta, but way more Brady jerseys than Rams jerseys. I can't even, do you see one in there? There's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one guy. There's
Funny.
one.
Yeah,
There's
this
2
is
guys.
the one moment we get a cluster of like 2 or 3 or 4 Rams fans. No, it really has been all Patriots fans. And that could be really interesting on Sunday to see how that plays out with the crowd noise inside this massive stadium.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
You can hear the energy in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's getting so amped
Well,
up.
and it's a long week, so the closer you get to the game, the more amped it gets. More people are flying in today, tomorrow, and then it's just going to be packed with people, and then the big game is on Sunday. So there you go.
Very good. Okay, what's our weather looking like this weekend, Keith? If we're traveling maybe to go watch the Super Bowl somewhere else?
I feel bad for the guys in ESPN or other cable networks have to talk about the same game for 2 weeks. Like, I just can't imagine that. One great thing about weather is that it rotates out. All right, high temperatures today. We did a little bit better than yesterday. 23 in Lewiston, 20 in Wiscasset, 20 in Portland, and 17 in Bangor. That's still well below average, but compared to where we were yesterday, which was frigid, it was a little bit more reasonable. Still wind chills feel like the single digits and below 0 in Caribou, Millinocket, Greenville, and feels like 4 below in Holton right now. So certainly still a chilly night. Satellite's pretty clean. Radar has been clean through the day as well as we zoom out. Nothing going on through the next 12 hours or so. Next chance of snow will be tomorrow afternoon. It'll be light stuff. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Watch how we start with a good deal of sun tomorrow, but we do increase the clouds later in the afternoon, and the snow showers move in. It doesn't look overly potent, but I do want you to be aware there's a potential in spots for 1 inch to 2 inches in the mountains especially, and maybe up to 1 inch even over parts of down east and into Bangor through tomorrow afternoon, and then tapering off to snow showers tomorrow night. Guys, the better of the 2 weekend days actually looks like Super Bowl Sunday, at least around 30 and quiet, partly cloudy.
All right, sounds good, Keith. Thanks so much. Wanting to represent the diversity at Lewiston High School, a group of students is painting massive murals throughout the hallways.
They have a pretty simple goal. It's to make the walls a lot brighter as well as to inspire.
When you come into school, you know you're tired, and then when you come and see all this color, it kind of just wakes you up.
Savannah Leonard and her friends at Lewiston High School are brushing up on painting skills.
Yeah, which one's the dark blue?
When they could be at lunch. Instead, they're outside the busy cafeteria, a tricky task with all the foot traffic.
Distractions, all the people around us, it's really hard to focus. Yeah, I think that's probably the most challenging part about painting.
They've created massive murals of prominent leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Maya Angelou.
I like just being able to make a mark on this school in a positive way, in a way that will inspire other people.
It's not part of a class.
These images are important to them.
It's something Deanna Earhart encouraged her students to do at her previous school in the Midwest, and now she's brought the project here.
They do this in their free time, so if they're caught up in class, or if they want to spend their lunch, or some of them will come in on their study hall, so it's pretty nice.
The students say they want all who walk these halls to feel a sense of belonging.
We have a lot of immigrants in the school, and a lot of people who are different. You know, there's like over 1,000 people in the school, right? So it's a good way to symbolize and make them feel more at home.
And Leonard says she has no plans of slowing down soon.
We're not just representing people of color, it's everyone. Like, what I'm hoping to do next, I'm hoping to do Frida Kahlo, because she's amazing.
And some of these students are learning to paint like this for the first time. They use a projector to shine the image onto the wall, and then they use pencils to sketch the image before they break out the paint. That stencil process alone takes nearly 2 hours to complete. Well, it's Friday, so that means senioritis stories time. I know you guys love this at home. Maddie, the intern, gets some advice about long-term health.
All right, and what's the primal diet? You heard of this?
No.
Me either. Cameron O'Brien is going to bring us the answers. What is this thing? It's coming up. All right, it's February 1st. You know what that means, right?
Super Bowl's almost here?
Yes, and 3 months until May gets here, and that's when college seniors are going to be graduating, and that's when the stress and the pressure is on. Exactly.
Yeah, here's Maddie Rayner with how to get through it in her senioritis stories.
On average, students spend 8 hours doing schoolwork or work-related activities each day. Between our busy class schedule and social life, we often don't think about our long-term health. I talked to UMass nutritionist Judith Dowd about 3 easy tips you can start now to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Number one thing that I would advise students to do is, you're going to be surprised coming from a nutritionist, get enough sleep.
I put our advice to the test this week. Using the bedtime app on my iPhone, I set reminders about when to go to sleep and alarms to wake up in the morning.
Number 2, and I want to emphasize that we're talking about habit change. We're all creatures of habit. The next thing I would say that is critical is to eat lots of fruits and vegetables.
Due to my gluten allergy, I have an appreciation for fruits and veggies, but not everyone else does. So trick yourself and put them in a smoothie.
I would say the third thing, and this is really a big topic, and it's called mindfulness, is to try to eat mindfully.
Now, if you don't have time for mindful eating, try mindful scheduling, where you chunk out specific times throughout your day to sit down, slow down, and enjoy a well-balanced meal. Try these tips for healthier living and let me know what you think. I'm Madison Rayner, and I'll see you next Friday at 5.
That is so hard to do, even for adults. You know, when you try to cram food into your day as, oh, by the way, oops, I forgot to eat, right? So, I mean, I can imagine kids have the same issue. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I was at Lewiston High School today, and there was a chart that said, like, get 5 or more fruits and vegetables and 0 sugary drinks, you know, and that's hard. Sometimes you're craving that sugar. It's a struggle.
It's real.
All right. Well, when we come back, speaking of struggles and allergies, Cam finds a restaurant that fits all of her allergy needs and much more.
And more keys. Woohoo! Stay with us. All right, as is well documented at this point, Cameron O'Brien has allergies. We all know it. You guys know it. We got gluten, we got dairy, we got soy. So about a month ago, she decided to embark on an allergen-friendly tour of our state.
And her first stop was Bam Bam Bakery in Portland. This week, she found goods in Central Maine at Trips Cafe in Auburn. Cam, tell us all about Trips.
What's up, guys? So Trips was so much fun to visit, and it wasn't because of the food. Well, just because of the food. The food was amazing. It was because of the people. Mark Tripp and his wife kind of stumbled and fell into the allergy world, and now they're making the best of it. Welcome to Trips Primal Cafe, an allergen-free oasis along Route 4 in Auburn.
Yeah, we still haven't had our grand opening. Maybe after this story we will.
It all began 4 years ago when Mark Tripp started the Primal Diet for health reasons with the help of a close friend.
I just started trying these different recipes and making things, and he was buying them, then his friends were buying them, and we just had to go beyond our whole household kitchen.
So, what in the world is a primal diet?
The idea behind it is essentially that we are following something similar to what our ancestors may have been eating.
Remember Kylie Fignano from the last segment? She's a registered dietitian in Portland.
And although we don't know specifically what that is, we do know there were no processed foods, and the idea is that you stick mainly to very whole foods, mostly plant-based.
Kylie says the people who choose to follow this lifestyle are suffering from food-related inflammation.
Bloating in their stomach or their intestine area, or actual joint and muscle pain that didn't used to be there and is not related to any other physical activity.
And that brings us back to Trips Cafe.
Sweet is good.
Soon after they opened, Mike's grain and gluten-free treats exploded in the allergy community.
We quickly learned that this was something that was serious and near and dear to a lot of people's hearts.
So they grew the menu to include just about everyone.
Paleo, primal, keto, vegan stuff, dairy-free stuff, and of course the basis is gluten-free.
Y'all already know I had to get back in the kitchen and see if the goods were worth the hype. This is so good. First the bagel, then the donut. Money. So far, so good. But the real test?
Top selling gluten-free would have to be
a Maine favorite.
Whoopie pies, hands down.
My very first whoopie pie. Well done, Maine. Well done. And turns out, I'm not the only one enjoying the grub.
10 minutes from the house, and to have this quality food and the taste is so good, we got sold right away.
There's a lot of reward in this for us to see the ability for someone to have a whoopie pie or, a cinnamon bun or a donut or pizza, all these things that they can't have.
And with this kind of following,
it makes us feel good, and that's really why we do it.
Trips Cafe isn't going anywhere. Anytime soon. So that guy who was eating the sandwich, his name is Paul Bernard, and turns out he's gluten-free by proxy. His wife is actually the one with the allergy, so he does it to support her. So please continue to send me your gluten-free recommendations. I got Trips from you guys. So please continue to send me places you want for me to go. But my next episode, guys, is about fitness, flex. So get excited for that. Let's go.
There's the first time I've seen Cam speechless when she had that whoopie pie going on.
I know.
Have we ever heard her not talk for that amount of time? And it was
whoopie pies are delicious if you've never been down that road before.
Yeah. So good.
Even if you have been down that road many times, they're still good. I actually went to a gluten-free bakery and didn't realize it was gluten-free, which is probably the highest compliment. The only thing that tipped me off is that things were like 20% more than I wanted them to be. Yeah. But that happens in Portland all the time, so it's hard.
Maybe we'll have Cam do that story. Why does all the stuff that's healthy cost more?
Yeah. Well, vegetables are cheap.
If it's healthy, they should have it cost less.
Vegetables are cheap, but
who wants
to do that?
You got to buy them more often too, because they go bad so quick.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
Like my Twinkie from '78 is still good.
That's still good.
Yeah, it is still good.
You don't eat Twinkies, do you? Oh, I've never seen you do it. I've seen you with the energy drink, not the Twinkies. 19 in Portland right now, 16 in Lewiston. We did better than we did yesterday, but it's still cold, still below average. And the wind chills around 9 in Augusta, 5 in Bangor, 10 below is what it feels like in Caribou right now. So it's a slow moderation, as we talked about yesterday. Radar's clean, nothing really going on. We had a nasty lake effect band off Ontario yesterday. That has settled because the wind has turned, so it's not on the correct fetch to give us lake effect snow anymore. Not us, but upstate New York. All right, hour-by-hour forecast overnight tonight is cold again, single digits, right around 9 or 10, I'd say, along the coastline by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is partly cloudy to start, but we cloud up pretty quick. And here comes some snow showers. I struggle with the wording of what's going to happen tomorrow because I think people think of snow showers or rain showers as meaning that it's very, very light. Really what it means is it's intermittent. So I think we'll see intermittent periods of light snow. How about that? Through tomorrow afternoon, and there will be spots that adds up to an inch or two of accumulation. Favored spots, though, are the mountains. And then Sunday looks pretty good. Temperatures not quite as cold. We get to around 30 by Sunday afternoon. It does start in the single digits. It's partly cloudy through Super Bowl Sunday, and then we see a light mix move in Sunday night and Monday. So nothing major here. Here's that little shot of snow Saturday afternoon. And then on Monday, we call it a light mix because it'll be rain showers, sleet showers, and some snow showers depending on your location. And that lifts this warm front to our north. So Monday afternoon through the first half of Tuesday is mild. Couple of showers Tuesday, and then a front comes through. We're quiet Wednesday, Thursday, and then Thursday night, Friday is our next chance at a major system. At this point, it looks messy. So it's a brief chill that we were in, and then we do start to warm up. Monday and Tuesday still a good shot, especially over southern Maine, of getting to around 50 degrees. If you're over northern Maine, probably not going to get there. And then another cold shot comes in for next weekend as the Arctic air mass reloads. So it's there's a lot of drops on here. None of this is a big deal until Thursday night. That storm and into Friday at this point looks like a mess. It's also, though, a week away, so who cares? I think that Sunday is your good weekend day, the better of the two weekend days, if you don't spend the whole day watching the Super Bowl, which I can't get into. I sit down at like 5:30 on that. Some people do all day, but
sure. You think
you
it's
do
good
the all
ski
day?
Well,
I do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's.
Well, you're a sports guy.
I'm never home for the Super Bowl. I've always been at the Super Bowl, so now that I'm home,
I took your
it's like a huge family event, and it's just like, you know, so we do it all day. Yeah, so it's fun.
All right.
So yeah, no, we make it. It's a holiday.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a holiday.
Good deal. I'll be on the couch too. All right. If you're driving, though, to your Super Bowl party, you might see these signs. The Maine DOT is always coming up with those creative signs, and this weekend's are obviously Super Bowl related. The first one, police always call the pass interference.
87 is Gronk's number. It is not the speed limit. I love that one. Remember that one from last year?
I sure do. And no sober driver, Bella check yourself.
Get it? Bella check
I
yourself.
love it.
And be the Tom Brady of driving. I'm not sure what that means, but it's awesome.
Just be great at it.
Laser
be the greatest
focus.
of all time.
Just be the best driver of all time.
Be the greatest driver of all time.
All right,
the
there you
GOAT.
go.
All right, a lot more news coming up straight ahead on News Center Maine at 5:30, and we're about to find out all about it. We're going to check in now with Cindy Williams for a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hey guys, the trial of the 2017 break-in, it was a fatal home invasion in Millinocket, came to an end today. The jury made a decision in that case, and we're going to fill you in coming up at 5:30. And most people know the Center for Grieving Children helps families who've lost someone, but it also helps families who are dealing with a life-threatening illness. So we're going to talk more about that coming up at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, sounds good. Super Bowl science when we come back.
All right, Keith was in Atlanta, now he's with us, and here's some of what he did while he was out there.
We did the sciences. This one specifically on field goal kicking. So in Chicago, people might be happy to see this, that it's hard to kick a field goal.
Anyone can be a field goal kicker, right? Well, using trigonometry, I'll show you it's not quite as easy as it looks on TV. To figure out the margin of error for a successful kick, we have to start with the knowns. The first known is the target. NFL uprights are 18.5 feet apart. We can use that as one side of a right triangle. The other side of the triangle is the distance from the goalpost to the spot of the kick. We'll convert from yards to feet because frankly, no one uses yards in math, and we want all the units to be the same. An attempt from 20 yards means we have 60 feet as one side and 2 divided 9 1/4 foot lengths on each side of the center line of the uprights. From that, we can calculate the angle of error to be a maximum of 8.76 degrees. That means from 20 yards, you can be off by about 9 degrees and still make it through the uprights.
Move the distance out to 30 yards, still a short kick in the NFL, and one of your sides becomes 90 feet while the others remain constant.
So from 30 yards away, you have to be within 6 degrees to have a chance of making it through the uprights.
But we all know where the real money is made in the NFL, the longer kicks. So let's go out to 60 yards. That's 180 feet, making the max angle of error 2.94 degrees. And remember, this doesn't take into account the vertical lift, angle to clear the defensive line, or the wind. Then, of course, there's the velocity and force. A kicker's foot must strike the ball at 60 to 70 miles per hour to have a chance to travel over 50 yards at the correct height. The average force applied to an NFL kick is about 1,500 newtons, which is 340 pounds of force. So yeah, it looks easy from your couch, but there's a reason games are won and lost on the kickers.
There it is! Let's go! Now, how come you only showed the one you made?
Yeah, I know. Well, we deleted all the other 50 takes of it. You know what I found the hardest about kicking that field goal in that scenario was that we didn't have a tee because the NFL experience was not open. So it was Clay's hand and then it was Coco's hand. So that was like the biggest
you didn't want to kick
concern.
Right, you don't want to take off somebody's finger.
You'd have to miss by quite a bit, but you'd break it probably.
Yeah.
So
Did anybody get hurt?
Nobody got hurt. Actually, I let some reporter from Raleigh do it. I'm like, all right, buddy, I'm just trusting you.
That's a lot of trust.
Yeah, he didn't break it. But good.
Okay.
But anyways, I don't think kicking's that easy.
So that should make people feel better about that double doink.
I don't know if it does, but
yeah,
it's better than losing the way the Saints lost.
We're about to give our Super Bowl predictions on Facebook Live right now, but first we got to go.
All right, News Entertainment at 5:30 starts now.